In this video, we're going to discuss about the two-dimensional principle of duality. Pero bago tayo pumunta doon, so meron ako ditong new set of axioms for the projective plane. Okay, so dito, papalitan lang natin or i-replace lang natin yung ilang mga axiom na diniscuss ko nung nakaraang lesson number 8. Okay, so meron tayong new set of actions dito. So, 6 siya. So, yung una, i-maintain lang natin tong una, yung any two distinct points are incident with just one line. Okay? Then, yung axioms 1, 2, and 4 ay papalitan natin ng mas simpleng statements na N2 and N3. Wherein, according sa N2, any two lines are incident with at least one point. And for N3, we have there exist 4 points of which no 3 are collinear. Then, for N4, may maintain lang natin siya. The 3 diagonal points of a complete quadrangle are never collinear. And then we have N5, yung Desargues theorem na diniscuss ko nung nakaraang lesson. So, gagawin natin siya as, or ititreat natin siya as axiom for projective plane. Again, according to the Desargues theorem, if two triangles are perspective from a point, they are perspective from a line. Okay? And then we have the last axiom, if a projectivity leaves invariant each of 3 distinct points on a line, it leaves invariant every point on the line. So, ito yung 6 actions na gagamitin na natin para sa discussion ng projective plane. Now, let's proceed to two-dimensional principle of duality. Every definition remains significant and every theorem remains true when we interchange the words point and line, or and the other pairs of words such as join and meet, collinear and concurrent, vertex and side, and so forth. So, anong ibig sabihin ng principle of duality? Okay, kapag sa definition o kaya sa theorem, makikita natin yung point, okay, and then, gumawa tayo ng another definition or theorem wherein yung point, papalitan lang natin ng line, tapos syempre yung mga ginamit ding words doon katulad ng halimbawa, yung join, pinalitan natin ng meet, yung collinear, halimbawa collinear points, pinalitan lang natin ng word na concurrent lines. Okay, yung vertex, papalitan natin ng side, halimbawa, dun sa definition na yon, but same definition, pinagpapalit lang natin yung mga words na yon, then, masasabi natin na kung true yung original definition or theorem, true din yung theorem na yon na nanggaling sa original definition. Okay? So, yun yung gustong sabihin ng principle of duality. So, kaya duality, kumbaga, yung original definition or theorem, ang dual niya ay yung another definition or theorem, which is yung pinalitan lang yung mga words na line, meet, and so on. Okay? So, for example, dito meron tayong point. So, you can see we have A, B, C, D. So, ito line A, B, line C, D. Then, ang ibig sabihin nito, nag-intersect sila or concurrent sila. So, yung tinutukoy dito ay point. Yung point of concurrency or point of intersection. Okay? Now, yung dual definition niyan ay ito. Okay? Wherein, meron tayo ditong point AB tapos point CD. Okay? Tapos, etong mabubuo natin dito ay magiging line na. Okay? ABCD pa rin. Okay? So, dito, mapapansin nyo, sa duality or sa principle of duality, yung point na nasa gitna nila, nawala nung siya ay naging line na. Okay? Tapos, yung AB, nung siya ay naging line na, nagkaroon ng dot A dot B. Okay? So, same with CD. And then, as you can see, from capital letter to small letter. So, dito anong nangyari? Yung capital letter, which is, di ba yung capital letter, ginagamit natin siya as point. But since AB, line siya, no? pinalitan lang natin siya ng point, which is eto, dalawang lines na nag-intersect. Okay? So from line AB, naging point A dot B. Yung line CD, naging point C dot D. And yung point AB dot CD, naging line A dot B, C dot D. Okay? So yun yung gustong sabihin ng principle of duality by using this example. So if this is true, this is also true. Okay? So ano pa yung another example ng principle of duality? Ginamit natin yung principle of duality. So another example sa figure, yung dual ng quadrangle. Kung babasahin nyo or babalikan nyo yung discussion natin doon sa quadrangle or definition of quadrangle and quadrilateral, complete quadrilateral, mapapansin nyo doon na yung definition nila ay almost similar. Ang pagkakaiba lang nila, yung point naging line, yung join naging mate, and so on. Yung vertex naging side. Okay? So meaning, yung dual ng quadrangle is a quadrilateral. Okay? So balikan nyo na lang yung lesson natin doon sa complete quadrangle and complete quadrilateral. And then another example, meron tayong tinatawag na self-dual figure. Okay, so yung example nun ay yung triangle. Kasi kung papansin niyo yung definition ng triangle, hanapin mo yung dual niya. Ang dual ng triangle ay triangle pa din. Bukod sa mga example ng mga duality kanina, yung mga given axioms na diniscuss natin kanina ay may mga dual din. Okay? So, meron na ako ditong dual nung N3 hanggang N6. Pero, kung mapapansin nyo, wala yung N1, N2. Kasi yung N1 at N2, yung N1, ang dual na niya ay yung N2. Okay? So, ito yon. Mapapansin nyo pansinin nyo mabuti yung statement. Kay N1, any two distinct points are incident with just one line. So, tignan natin yung dual statement niya. Any two lines from points naging lines are incident with at least one point. Okay, so napansin niyo yun? So, next, dito naman tayo kay N3. So, pansinin natin yung dual ng N3. So, sa N3, there exist 4 points of which no 3 are collinear. Ano yung dual ng N3? There exist at least 4 lines from 4 points, naging 4 lines, no 3 of which are concurrent, from collinear to concurrent. Okay, so nakikita nyo yung principle of duality doon. So next, sa N4, the 3 diagonal points of a complete quadrangle are never collinear. The 3 diagonal lines from points to lines of a complete quadrilateral, dual ng quadrangle, are never concurrent. Okay? So next, dual naman ng Desargues theorem, if two triangles are perspective from a point, they are perspective from a line. So alam ko, yung Desargues na to, tsaka yung dual niya, na-discuss ko na rin sa nakaraang lesson. So ito yung dual niya. If two triangles, as you can see, self-dual to, are perspective from a line, okay, then they are perspective from a point. And then the last one, N6, if a projectivity lives invariant each of 3 distinct points on a line, it lives invariant every point on the line. So yung dual ng N6, if a projectivity on a pencil of lines lives 3 distinct lines of the pencil invariant, hindi ko pala nalagay dito yung pencil, range of points, it lives every line from point to line of the pencil invariant. Okay, so medyo iba lang yung ng statement, pero yung idea nila, mapapansin nyo yung duality Ito, okay? So, according to principle of duality, kung yung mga axiom na diniscuss natin kanina from N1 to N6 ay tatanggapin nating true statement, then it implies that these statements are also true. Okay? Yung mga dual nila ay dapat din nating tanggapin na true statements. Okay? At pwede rin natin gamitin sa mga susunod pang discussion. So now, so ang gawin natin ngayon, yung ilang statements dito ay ipoprove natin as true. So para makita talaga natin na true statements sila. So ang ipoprove ko lang dito ay yung let's say yung entry, dual ng entry, tsaka yung dual ng N5. And then sa dual ng M4 and dual ng N6, now let's have the proof of dual of entry. Okay. So let ABCD CD be four distinct points. No three of which are collinear. Collinear. So eto, saan galing yung statement na to? Sa N3. Okay, so dun ko kinuha sa N3. Sabi kasi ni N3, meron daw 4 points of which no 3 are collinear. Okay, so valid yung statement natin. Now, sabi sa N1, okay, balikan natin yung N1, yung two distinct points daw incident with just one line. Okay? Now, ibig sabihin yan, mula dito, kung meron daw 4 distinct points na walang tatlong collinear doon, wala sa tatlong points yung, hindi pwedeng mag-collinear yung tatlong points dito. So mula dyan, tsaka dun sa N1, may mag-e-exist na 6 distinct lines. Okay, so by N1, there exist 6 distinct lines. Okay, so ano-ano yun? AB, AC, AD, BC, BD, CD. So ito yung 6 distinct lines. Kasi walang tatlo eh. Dapat hindi pwedeng mag-collinear yung tatlo, hindi pwedeng ABC. So kung maglalagay tayo ng line, so ito yung mga line na yun. 6 na distinct lines na yun. Okay? By N1. Now, so consider 4 lines. Kumuha lang tayo ng 4 lines dyan. So consider the 4 lines, let's say yung AB, yung BC, CD, and AD. So kunin natin yung apat na yan. And then, ang gawin natin, kontrahin natin. Okay, baliktarin natin yung sitwasyon. So sabihin natin na dito sa apat na lines na to, so meron tayong apat na lines, sabihin natin na merong tatlong concurrent dyan. Okay? So let's say, so suppose 3 of the lines, 3 of 4 lines are concurrent. Concurrent. And let's say, yung 3 lines na yon ay yung AB, BC, and CD. Okay? Now, anong goal natin? Ang goal natin, makapagpalabas tayo ng contradiction. So kapag nakapagpalabas tayo ng contradiction or false statement, then we can say that the dual of entry is valid. Pero kapag walang contradiction at na-prove natin na yung 3 lines nga ay concurrent, na-prove natin na pwede yung 3 lines ay concurrent, then mali yung dual of entry or invalid yung statement na yan. Okay, so dito ang goal natin makapagpalabas ng contradiction. So now, according sa N2, sabi sa N2, any two lines are incident with at least one point. Okay? So, meaning, let's say, AB tsaka BC, yung two lines, so incident sila sa isang point, sa at least one point. And let's say, yung point of intersection ng kasi neto will be yung B. Okay, yung point B. Tama? Kasi AB, BC. So, yung B lang yung point of intersection yan. So, by N2, B is the only point of intersection of AB and BC. Okay? So therefore, since yung three lines are concurrent and the only point of intersection ng AB and BC is B, point B, then yung point B, siya yung point of concurrency ng AB, BC, and CD. Okay? So this follows that B is the point of concurrency of AB, BC, and CD. And kung ito yung point na of concurrency ng tatlo, then yung point B ay naglalay sa CD. Kasi nga, point of concurrency siya. So, dapat dumaan yung CD sa B. Okay? So, yung B is on CD, which is a contradiction. Okay? So, alin yung contradiction dito? Sabi kasi, yung 4 distinct points na to, wala dapat tatlong collinear points dito. Okay? So, no 3 of which are collinear. Pero dito, kung yung B ay naglalay sa line CD, then meron na tayong tatlong collinear points. Yung points B, C, and D. Okay? So, nagkaroon ng contradiction. So, B is on CD. This contradicts, or which contradicts the assumption okay? Teka lang. This follows that B is the point of concurrency of pangit ng which. This contradicts the assumption that yung iba kasing statement binabanggit ko kaya nagulo tuloy yung ano dito, that B, C, and D are non-collinear. Okay? Kasi kung yung B ay nandun sa CD or naglalay sa CD, then collinear na yung BCD. So kino-contradicts nyo na yung assumption na yung BCD ay hindi pwedeng mag-collinear kasi yun yung una nating statement. Okay? So since nakapagpalabas tayo ng contradiction, okay? At sa other cases, ganun pa rin yung mangyayari. Okay? So therefore, tatanggapin natin yung dual of entry. Okay? So therefore, yung dual of now let's prove the dual of the research theorem or dual of N5. So for proof dual of N5. Okay? Now, so dun muna tayo sa assumption ng dual niya. So sabi daw, two triangles are perspective from a line. Okay, so bumuo muna tayo ng dalawang triangles na perspective from a line. So let's say triangle ABC and triangle A prime B prime C prime. So let triangle ABC and triangle A prime B prime C prime be perspective from a line with yung P, let's say ito yung intersection ng AB tsaka A prime B prime. So AB A prime B prime. Yung Q, let's say intersection ng B, C and B prime C prime. And let's say we have point R, intersection naman ng AC and A prime C prime. Okay. So according to the definition ng perspective from a line, yung points P, Q, R are collinear. Okay? So, para sa mga nakalimot, pwede nyong balikan yung nakaraang lesson ko doon sa perspective triangle. So, sa perspective triangle, diniscuss ko yung definition ng perspective from a point and perspective from a line. Okay? Now, so then, P, Q, and R are collinear according sa definition of perspective from a line. Okay? Now, so ang goal natin dito, mapakita natin na yung two triangles na yan, which is perspective from a line, dapat perspective from a point. Okay? Dapat itong statement na to implies that these two triangles are perspective from a point. Okay? So, yun yung goal natin. Now, so mag-let tayo ng point. So, let's say O, point O is the intersection of AA prime and B prime. Okay? So let's say we have the intersection or point of intersection of lines AA prime and BB prime, and this point is point O. Now, ang goal na lang natin dito, so what to show, yung O ay dapat nasa line C prime. So kapag napakita natin na yung O ay nasa line CC prime, which is intersection ng AA prime and BB prime, therefore, yung triangle ay perspective from a point O. So ito na lang yung kailangan natin pakita para masabi natin na ito ay perspective from point O. Okay? Now, so mag-consider pa tayo ng other triangle. So bumuo tayo ng another triangle. Let's say triangles RAA prime and QBB prime. Triangle QBB prime. Okay? So ito kasi line tapos yung R, hindi naman collinear tong tatlo eh. Okay? So ibig sabihin kung itong R ay wala sa line AA prime, then magfo-form ng triangle to. So same reason with QBB prime. Magfo-form ng triangle to kung itong BB ay collinear and then yung Q ay wala dito. Okay? So yung tatlong to kasi R, A, tsaka A prime ay non-collinear. Same dito. Kaya magiging triangle sila. Okay, so meron tayong dalawang triangles. Now, since yung P, Q, and R are collinear, ibig sabihin, yung P ay nasa line QR. Okay? So, P is on the line QR. Okay, so isa na yan. Yung P nasa line QR. Kasi nga collinear sila. Next, since yung P, according dito, intersection daw siya ng AB dot A prime B prime, then P is on line AB and on line A prime B prime. Kasi nga yung line AB tsaka line A prime B prime nag-intersect sa point P. So ibig sabihin lang nun, yung line AB dumaan sa point P, yung line A prime B prime dumaan din sa point P. Okay, so P is on the line AB and line A prime B prime. Okay? Now, kung yung P ay nasa line QR, nasa line AB, and nasa line A prime B prime, so napapansin nyo, QR, AB, A prime B, A prime B prime. So ibig sabihin, yung triangles na to ay perspective from a point by definition of perspective from a point. Okay? So therefore, or this follows that yung RAA and QBB, yung two triangles na yan, are perspective from point P. Okay, by definition of perspective from a point. Okay, now, by Desargues theorem or by N5, so pakita ko na rin, Desargues theorem, kung yung two triangles na to ay perspective from a point, let's say point P, then yung two triangles na to ay perspective from a line. Okay? So yung RAA prime and QBB prime are perspective from a line. Okay? Now, by definition of perspective from a line, kung perspective from a line to, then, okay, so by definition of perspective from a line, then, yung bawat lines dito, yung bawat sides ng triangle ay nag-i-intersect sa point. So, sa tatlong points, okay, yung tatlong corresponding sides nito ay nag-intersect nag-intersect sa tatlong points which are collinear. Okay, by definition ng perspective from a line. So, let's say, yung isang point ay point C. Okay? So, let's say, the points C, let's say, ito ay intersection ng RA and QB. RA, QB. And let's say, we have point C prime, intersection ng RA prime and QB prime. And yung kanina, point O, intersection ng AA prime and BB prime. AA prime and BB prime. According sa definition of perspective from a line, yung points C, C prime, and O are collinear. Okay? Collinear. So yung corresponding sides so halimbawa ito, RA tapos QB, yung corresponding sides. Dito naman, ang corresponding sides ay RA prime, QB prime. So nag-meet sila sa point C. So same dito. And ito namang AA prime, BB prime. So stick tayo dito, nag-meet sila sa point O. And yung points na kung saan nag-meet yung corresponding sides ng triangle, which is points C, C prime, and O, collinear sila according sa definition ng perspective from a line. Okay? Now, since collinear sila, yung C, C prime, and O, so ibig sabihin, yung point O ay nasa line CC or CC prime. Okay? Kasi collinear sila. No? Okay? So this follows that point O is on line CC prime, which is yun yung target nating mapakita. Okay? So mula dyan, napakita natin na yung O ay nasa line CC prime. So therefore, or thus, yung AA prime, BB prime, and CC prime kasi yung O ay nasa CC prime. So, ito ay concurrent. Okay? Kasi yung AA prime, BB prime, CC prime, pare-parehong dumaan sa point O. Okay? So, therefore, yung ABC and A prime, B prime, C prime are perspective from point O by definition of perspectivity from the point. Okay? At kung yung two triangles na to ay perspective from point, then dito na-prove na natin yung dual or yung validity ng dual of N5, which is given na two triangles perspective from a line,